Hey guys, welcome back. Been a while since I last uploaded. Today I decided to start a new series here. In my, it's a new series I call Countering the Meta. As you may know, there's been lots of CVs about, and the new upcoming Russian destroyers, or Russian battleships, I'm sorry. So I will be featuring some ships that will counter these, that are good for countering these, since you're gonna, have to deal with the spam and such. And the first one I'm featuring here is the Minotaur. The Minotaur has great AA, as you all know. As you can see, this CV's finding out the hard way. Fast fire rate and smokes. So this makes it very good at stopping pushes, especially from those Russian cruiser battleships that like to get in close. In fact, you'll notice that's a trend. Right now I'm trying to dodge, that's where the rudder shift comes in handy. Trying to get out of the way, but you can also see how squishy the Minotaur is. 25 mil, I think, not much plating on it. It's very thin. Some parts less than 25 millimeters. So you're gonna have to be overmatched by even, Henry 4 guns with its 240 millimeter AP. That is a downside to it, and as you can see, everything lives a sheet at you. You take maximum damage a lot of the time because of your thin armor, and you're basically like a floating citadel for the enemy team. Now, if you notice that, if you saw briefly there, when I switched sides, it was only about 7.5 seconds instead of 10. That's because I run manual AA, and we'll talk more about that on the build. So right now I'm trying to re-engage. I notice that they're capturing the point. Trying to wait for the optimal moment to slow down and use my smoke. So I'm heading towards the point. I see that's being contested. I'm trying to help. I also see that that ship is pushing in there, and I'm trying to get into position. I see the enemy cruiser open up. So I wait for him to get to the right moment, and then I'm going to smoke up, and then I'm going to try and shoot at his broadside. Even with these small guns, on something like a Minotaur, they can still penetrate and do citadel damage. I see the DD briefly. I tried to open up on it. I see that the Minotaur is coming to engage, so I'm trying to open up on it, help stop pushing. They get undetected briefly. They should be spotted again. And then I see the Minotaur again. I notice he's turning broadside, and that's a huge mistake to do, especially whenever there's a Minotaur nearby, because you can start taking good bits of damage from it whenever you show broadside to it, especially in something like another Minotaur. You can see he's taking citadel damage. I see he starts smoking up. Probably going to start trying to stealth firing into my smoke, trying to hit me. Hit another citadel, and then I launch torps. Now, these probably won't hit because he's using, I assume he's using hydroacoustic search, as I am, because I'm figuring he's going to torp me soon. But anyway, since I have it ready in case I need to flee out of my smoke, I start farming the battleship there. And you'll see it can do pretty good damage. I'm getting, one little 1K volleys, but even though they're not that much, you're firing so fast that you can really rack up the damage quickly. And there's where the Hydra comes in. I see the enemy Haragumos torps. So I start reversing. Free potential damage, I guess. And now I see the Minotaur's torps. And I actually landed torps on the Minotaur. He got a devastating strike. I figured he was running Hydra. I don't know if he ran out of it earlier, but I guess he did. I actually quite like the torps on the British light cruisers. I find them quite enjoyable to use. So I decided to go for the cap because we need points, and the enemy team is trying to claw back is really contesting and fighting for that middle cap, so I'm going to go ahead and flank off their side and go to the capture point. I start prioritizing my AA on that enemy CV. See, he doesn't really like being around me. The Minotaur is really good AA, especially whenever you can use that priority target with the AA. The name of it escapes me right now. I see the enemy DD. He starts opening up on me. I smoke up, start firing back. Since the Harvard Goma has kind of thick armor, or that DD, I can kind of sometimes get full pins on him. But since I'm afraid of the Moskva's radar, I decided to start fleeing and try to launch torps at the DD. Launch my heal, that great Royal Navy heal. Trying to turn away a little bit there and use my back torps. I guess he was smart enough to know to run away, because I don't actually end up hitting him with those torpedoes. But since I'm behind my smoke, I can actually fire at this Moskva. And since he's low on HP, I'm going to try and take him out. Because radar cruisers are a big threat to my DD. Now I decided to turn around and go back for the cap. I'd really like to win this game. We've come pretty far. I see the Moskva again. I try opening back up on it. I want to take him out of the game. But luckily for me, the torps that were meant for that destroyer hit the Moskva. I was actually hoping those were going to hit, but I think they ended up running out of range. More torpedoes are sent in my direction, so I have to dodge. I actually thought I was going to get hit here, but I didn't. Luckily, the British cruisers have great handling. They accelerate extremely quickly. Almost like they don't lose speed when they turn. Currently the A point's being capped, so I'm going to try and get to C as soon as I can. I don't normally, if it weren't for, I guess, so many CVs, I'd run RPF. Excuse me. Because the fact that I know when stuff is trying to push into me, it also helps me know if something's coming towards my smoke if I don't see anything. You know, especially when I know where a DD might be, if RPF tracks on the DD. But I'm not running that because of all the stinking CVs, and I'm showing a video on how to help counter the meta of CVs. Right now it's not DDs, it's CVs. So I start moving into the cap now. Looks like we retook A. Move into the cap as quickly as I can. It's almost like one of those. The game was actually a bit tense because of, you know, I didn't know if we were going to win or not, and I didn't know how my team was going to hold up on the other side of the map. So I get into the cap. To be honest, it might have been a good idea for the CV to come for me and try and reset the cap, but he was too busy attacking ships on the other side of the map there. So I get this cap, and then I move to once I get this, I'm gonna move to the center cap, because you know what they say, capping wins games. I'm tempted to go straight for attack that CV. As you can see, he's on low health. But to me, it's more important that I get the through the caps and make sure we secure those. Because again, you know, they can actually flip the points. But just out of safety measures, I go ahead and move to the center cap, the B cap. And let me know how the sound sounds, like how my voice sounds. Microphone I have isn't exactly all that sensitive, and I have it turned all the way up when I record. So just let me know how it sounds. That'd be great. So I get to the middle cap. Our Shima is getting into the cap too. And now I'm moving slowly up to where those battleships are. I'm thinking I'm going to get ready and go up and farm the battleships once I get close. But I've already done 125,000 and 2 capture points. So I figured I wasn't really a rush.
Victory is in sight.
Switched my AA sector because I see planes, but I guess they're not coming too close. I get ready to smoke up by the battleship. Go ahead and do it because I'm plane spotted. And then I just start shooting the broadside of this Montana. You can see the damage start racking up once I get good hits on them. That's once I figure out my potato aim. I try and aim for the upper belt and the superstructure to get those pins. But it almost seems like sometimes even when they move and not that much, it can be hard to hit them. But I'm getting good hits. And that's when I noticed that my friendly BB is heading that direction. And yeah.
Do not fire at your allies.
Yeah, I know. Don't fire at my allies, right? Yeah. Good stuff. Oh, man. And that's when I noticed the CV's right there. I try and hit that one because I notice he's on low health. And then there goes the planes. So I start farming this CV here. I'm not exactly sure what his intent was. So now they're both kind of focusing me, but again with the Minotaur AA, really strong and really long range. This can be a really pain in the butt ship to attack with a aircraft carrier. It's also quite nimble too, so it can be hard to torpedo. But you can see this is rate of fire just going into the ship there, and I see he's going to torp me. I start slowing down, trying to dodge. I'm just going after him with these, just volley after volley after volley, and then my torps land a hit, and then that's him sunk. And yeah, that was probably the best game I've ever had in the Minotaur on PTS. So yeah, 195,000 damage, 300 and something hits, 2 captures, first place on the team with devastating strike. There's the damage results. See that CV had a lot of fun with me. There's rewards. Alright, Minotaur build. Okay, let's first take a look at the modules. So, in order of consumables, Damage Control Party 2, Repair Party 2, Heal, Smoke, Hydro. I pick Heal first because you can kind of sit behind islands if your smoke isn't ready yet and spam kind of like a Wooster would do. Upgrades wise, Main Armament Mod 1, Damage Control Systems Mod 1, or whatever you prefer. AA Guns Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2 for dodge. Concealment, it's a must to help you get into those situations, those positions you want to get into, and you can stealth torp easier, which was you saw in this video. And Main Battery Mod 3, you don't have to worry about the battery traverse speed penalty because of the speed of the turret traverse. Commander skills, Priority Target, Adrenaline Rush, Superintendent, goes more heal, and Smokes. Concealment Expert, again to get in those positions and it helps you self-torp better. Next, Manual Fire Control for AA, or you could go Vigilance, whichever one you're more concerned about, AA or Torpedoes. And then Jack of all trades to reduce your time to get the smokes and heals back. Anyway, that was my Minotaur commentary, and I hope you all enjoy.